You? Yes. How long have you been interested in what I talk about?
Frankly, I don't know what you talk about.
But what brings you here?
One of my
Do,
good friends.
do you know what, let me put it this way. Do you know what I talk about?
I got a vague idea.
I see. I don't talk about cricket.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Long time back, one
Yeah.
of my good friends, Jaipal Reddy, he came here. And after visiting you, he gave me a book by the name Seeking.
Seeking.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he said, Ashok, you must read this book. I tried to read that book. I could not go beyond maybe 7 or 8 pages.
Yes.
Then it remained in my library. Towards the end of October, in the second half of October, another good friend from Kolhapur, he had come over. And we are
You are in Bombay?
I am in Bombay.
You are stationed in Bombay?
I am stationed in Mumbai.
I
I stay at Khar,
I see.
and I have my medical practice in a place known as Lower Parel, which is not far from here. And I also do training in stress management and training in power of mind.
I see.
So in that context, I had met a gentleman by name Pradeep Pawar, and he said, Ashok, have you met Ramesh Balsekar? So I said, no, though I have heard of him almost 10 years back from one of my good friends. He said, why don't you go and see him? Can I repeat the exact words he said?
No, but didn't you ask him why?
Yeah, I asked him.
Why?
Before that, I said 10 years back, my friend had told me that Ramesh is 80 plus. So is he still alive? That's what I asked him.
Quite right.
So he
Quite
said,
right.
I think he is. Then again I got back to this, as regards your question, he said, we are talking about mind and, the body, mind, intellect.
We, that is you and he.
If you can keep us separate, yes, me and him, yes.
I mean, the two of you.
Pradeep and me.
Two of you.
That's right.
Keep-
Then I got back to Jaipal. I said, another friend has asked me to see Ramesh. So do you know if Ramesh is still alive? He said, I do not know. I said, can you guide me to his place? He said, see in that book. And then he gave me a number which I tried to get in touch. I could not. This morning I completed I go for regular exercises, marathon training. So I did that. Marathon training.
Wow.
So I did that. I came back to my in-laws' place here in Taddev, had breakfast, and then suddenly I felt that I should go and look out for Ramesh Balsekar. So that's how I came.
Yes.
Jaipal had told me that you are somewhere near American consulate, so I tried over there. They said, no, there is no Balsekar house, because I was told Balsekar. Again, I got in touch with Jaipal, and I said, there is no Balsekar house around. So he opened some book and he said, it's Sindula building, and it's somewhere near French consulate. So again, I searched this building, found it, went, parked my car again far off from there, because there was no parking, took a bus and came over here. I had sat in a bus after more than a decade or two. And at night I said, yes, there's something new that is happening. And then I came over here. That's how I'm here.
I see. So, the striking word in all you have said, is what? Happening.
Yes. Happening.
Happening. That's what I talk about.
Yes.
Everything is a happening.
Yes.
Everything is a happening.
Yes.
Are you interested in spiritual
Yes.
teaching?
Yes.
You have been for many years?
Many years. Since 91. In 1991, I undertook a self-development course.
I see.
This was taken by a gentleman by name Apuresh Acharya.
I see.
And in fact, yesterday I talked to him on phone.
Self-development course.
Self-development course.
I see.
And at that time I was just doing medical practice, and a number of days I was carrying Times of India with me. There was no time to even open the paper. And on this particular day, I opened the paper, went somewhere in the middle of the edition, and there I saw an advertisement, a psycho-spiritual journey into yourself. And somehow I felt that this was something that I was searching all along.
Yeah.
I cut that. Afternoon, I went to the Western Hotel at Marine Lines, and there I was, and I enrolled immediately. I did that course very well.
How long was it?
That was 7 weeks course, 14 sessions,
Oh, I see.
twice in a week. And it was during this course that Aparesh used to take what are known as Sunday morning sessions. And that's where he used to talk about science of religion. In a sense, what he was talking, it was not a religious class,
No.
but it was a journey into self of sort.
Yeah.
He was saying what he had learned from the person who had opened his eyes, who was Swami Chinmayananda.
I see.
And that's how, and in the first lecture itself, he pointed at me and he asked me, "Who are you?" And I said, "I'm Ashok." He said, "Were you born with a label Ashok?" I said, "No, I guess after about a month or so, I was given that name." So he said, "Who are you before that 1 month?" So I started looking at my feet and I didn't know how to answer that question. He said, "Yeah, who are you? Who are you before?" He said, "You are the body?" I said, "Yeah, I'm Ashok." He said, "Supposing..."
Would have been fun
Yeah.
if you had said, "I'm exactly what you are."
Sorry?
It would have been fun if you had told him, "I'm exactly what you are." So you tell me what you are.
So I said, "Yeah." He said, "Supposing you meet with an accident and you lose maybe one hand, one leg, say about 40% of the body, it's not going to happen." He said, "I don't have a black tongue, but supposing it happens, then what? Will you become 60% Ashok?" I said, "No." Then he said, "Who are you?" So I said, "I'm the life." He said, "If you are the life, supposing you are a doctor and you are alive and now something happens, your heart stops beating, you from vertical position you become horizontal, do you think the life is not there in that horizontal body?" I thought over it and I said, "Yeah, there will be those, the worms will be still wriggling inside, the viruses and bacteria will be there, that is life, isn't it?" He said, "Then who are you?" And I said, "I give up, you tell me, who am I?"
And what was his answer?
He said that we see so many electrical appliances everywhere. The fan, it moves, revolves, gives me the air conditioner, it lowers the temperature, the heater will increase the temperature, and the fridge will make things cooler. Everything acts differently, but there is one common denominator inside all of them. What is that? I said, "There's electricity." He said, "We all look different, speak differently, think differently, but there is a common denominator in all of us, and that is your essence. You can call it consciousness, you can call it Atman, you can call it whatever, but that in essence you are." Yes, intellectually, yes, sounds good. But then, when today I came here, I saw you and you asked me if I had come earlier and I would like to ask questions. I said yes. And then as I was wandering around, I said, if I have to ask you a question, I didn't even know that I had to sit here. I said, what question would I ask? And the thought that came to me is, who am I? Because that is one question I remember asking myself as a boy, sitting in front of a mirror and going into a sort of trance and, just wondering, who am I?
Yeah.
And even though Aparesh told me that I am that consciousness, the common denominator which runs through all of us, connects all of us, but then how do I know it better? How do I know myself better? How do I experience myself in totality so that at will, at any given time, whether I am in the marketplace or wherever, I am in tune with that? I think that would be my question.
Wait a minute. You would be attuned with that. That's what you said?
I would be attuned with this.
Who would be attuned with what? Who would be attuned to what?
Now this is, as I was seeing that yesterday's program, I don't know about words, okay? Yes, I have a body, mind and intellect with which I am moving around in the world.
Yes.
And at the moment I think I'm totally conditioned by that body, mind and intellect. So I guess that this that I want to experience, which is conditioned by the body, mind and intellect, I want to see that it understands what it is in essence. In other words, the actual me I would like to understand with the idealistic me.
Yeah.
The actual me and the idealistic me. I would like the two to merge together so that at all times there is just Ashok.
Yeah.
There is no
In
mass.
the morning now, do you have time for an hour or two?
I beg your pardon?
Do you have time for an hour or two?
Absolutely.
Oh. Now, the first question is, you're absolutely right. Who is this me? Who is this? Your name is Ashok.
Ashok.
Who is Ashok? That is quite the right question. Who is this Ashok? Who is this Ramesh? Who is this? Have you tried to find the answer elsewhere, from books, from people?
Yes. Recently,
What is the yes?
yeah, recently, to be precise, on 26th of September, I had to give a seminar at Dinanath Mangeshkar. I was told almost 15-20 days in advance that all the tickets are sold out. 900 people are going to listen to this Ashok. And I was still searching for the real insight into...
Now wait a minute. 900 people waiting for you to hear you sing?
Yeah, not sing, to hear me talk.
I say,
Yeah. So I sing also, by the way. I love to sing.
you like singing?
I love to sing.
You love to sing?
Yeah.
I see.
So
How long have you been singing?
I have never taken any formal education in singing.
No.
Though my mama, he sings on stage. Prasad Saukar is his name. He's a stage artist also.
Yes.
Sam Prasad Saukar. So the topic on which I was going to talk
Yeah.
was power of mind. And
The power of mind.
power of mind.
Yeah.
And
But you are not that well known, are you?
no,
Then how could you attract 900 people?
one exactly. There is a company by name of Institute of Identity Creation, and they approached me because they had seen my programs, and they said, "Would you be interested in giving a talk at Dinanath Mangeshkar Hall?" I said yes, because one of my goals is to give a talk at Shanmukhanand Hall. I said yes, and
So what do you usually give talks on?
the talks usually are on self-development.
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 I see.
Self-development, yes. The programs which I conduct,
Now, self-development means increasing yourself, improving yourself. Does it mean that? Improving yourself physically, mentally, temperamentally,
yes, you could say that.
psychologically,
Yes.
financially,
Yes, you could say that. Yeah.
any one or all.
Anyone or all above 18 years.
So, what in that specifically do you, now, would you talk about improving yourself financially?
Financially, I say that
No, you are not.
no, I don't do that.
You
I
are
say-
not qualified to say.
yeah,
To talk on that.
yeah, because I don't deal with finances. I say that. See,
Therefore, when you say self-improvement,
yeah,
precisely what aspect of self-improvement do you talk on?
I first talk about what is a human personality. What does the human personality consist of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's the answer?
The answer is we have the physical dimension, we have the emotional dimension, we have the intellectual dimension, the three dimensions.
So what you have just described is a body-mind organism.
Body, mind.
organism.
Yeah, I say body, mind, and intellect. I say.
Yes, body, mind. Mind means mind, intellect, intelligence.
Yeah.
That goes under mind.
And what do you mean by organism?
An object.
And what is? How does it differ from the body?
A body, mind, organism. An object which is a body, mind, organism. An organism which is combination of body and mind.
Yeah.
Body, mind, organism.
Is that the jiva that you talk about?
I'm sorry?
When you say the organism, is that the jiva?
If you call it, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Body,
And
mind,
you-
organism. A body, mind in which there is life.
Yes.
In which there is life.
Yeah.
So the body, mind, organism.
Yes.
So fundamentally,
Yes.
what is any human being? So first your question was, who am I? You want to
Yes.
find out.
Right.
The answer is no. One thing about it. I was a spiritual seeker for 30 odd years. As a Brahmin, I was told I have to have a guru and get enlightenment. From the beginning, I wanted to know two things. What precisely is this enlightenment I am supposed to get? What precisely is enlightenment? Nobody could tell me that. Two, supposing I did get the enlightenment I am supposed to get, what would that enlightenment do for me? What happiness would it give me? What additional advantage would it give me that I did not have before? Valid questions, isn't it?
Yes.
And those were valid questions because I've been a banker for 37 years and I'm a practical person. So those were my valid questions. What is enlightenment? What will enlightenment do for me by way of happiness or otherwise, if and when I do get enlightened? No one would give me the answer. Later on, when I retired at 60, I said I wasted enough time on pursuing enlightenment. Now, for the rest of the time, maybe few years comparatively, I shall pursue happiness for myself. I shall pursue happiness for myself. Totally selfish. So I asked myself, isn't that selfish? What about millions of people under the poverty line? So the answer was clear. Not my responsibility, not my job. God created them, God will look after them. Exactly the way they're supposed to be looked after. I am concerned for 60 years, 35 years at least, I wasted pursuing enlightenment. Nobody could tell me what enlightenment is, what enlightenment would do for me. Then I said, I shall seek happiness for myself. I pursued happiness. I pursued happiness. And I got enlightened.
What do you mean?
I pursued happiness and I got happiness. I got the happiness I wanted. And then I realized that the happiness I got now is enlightenment.
That's what I meant when I said, what do you mean? Because I thought the same, that happiness and enlightenment.
Happiness is my nature.
Yeah.
Happiness that I am seeking is my nature. And that is what I wanted. And that is what everybody seeks. So, the first step I wanted to know was, if I am seeking happiness, what do I mean by happiness? First, therefore, from now on, I am going to take you on the journey which I went through. Therefore, when at the end of it, you will have no loose ends. You are free to ask me any question that you like.
Certainly.
And I almost guarantee that I will give you an answer. Why? Because during my journey, I have asked myself the same question. Almost certainly. So first, I said, I am seeking happiness. I said, I'm being reasonably comfortable in life, for which I am eternally grateful to God. There are millions of people below the poverty line. But luckily for me, I have always been reasonably comfortable in life. So, I have had pleasure. I have not enjoyed all the pleasures in life. But I know what pleasure is.
Here, just one interruption.
Please.
I heard you saying a number of times that I'm eternally grateful to God. What do you mean?
God is the source, the one unmanifest singularity, which has become the manifest duality and multiplicity.
So you mean we are the part and He is the whole?
He is the only reality, the one reality, the one unmanifest reality, singularity, which has become manifestation. The basis of manifestation is duality, beginning with male and female, and duality of every conceivable kind. So, therefore, to that creator, source, whatever you call it, that impersonal creator, to him I am grateful for being in a reasonably comfortable situation.
In the same context, as I told you, one of the persons, the second person who asked me if I had met you, he does a lot of work in quantum physics.
Yeah.
And he said, and he showed me a video clipping whereby we see that the human body that we see, it consists of trillions of cells. To be precise, it's estimated to be 100 trillion cells.
Quite right.
And each human cell consists of 100 trillion atoms.
Yeah.
And in the center of each atom, as we know, there is a nucleus or nucleon, which again consists of proton and neutron.
Quite right.
Inside the proton and neutron, they have seen there are quarks.
Yeah.
Inside the quarks, whether irrespective of the atom,
Yeah.
they find a stream, energy stream.
Yeah. So all of it together, you're talking of an object.
But the source in the center is the energy. That's what I'm talking about.
That's the point. Therefore, call it energy.
Right, that's what I want.
Call it primal energy.
So,
But it's impersonal.
the God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Primal energy, impersonal consciousness, the one unmanifest singularity.
Yes.
What you call is immaterial, except that you understand.
Yeah.
The God I mean
Yes.
is not the God which the atheist says does not exist. I agree with the atheist that God does not exist. If an atheist came to me and he told me, Ramesh, look, I don't know what to talk about, but please don't talk about God because I don't believe in God. What do you think my response will be? I agree with you. I agree with you because you say there is no separate entity called God.
Right.
There is no separate, all-powerful, all-knowing, despotic God.
Sitting in the heaven.
Yeah, sitting, maybe standing, lying down, God knows.
Yeah.
So I said, that I agree. And unfortunately, that is what most people think of as God. An all-powerful, despotic person sitting in the throne. And one glare at him, and you are reduced to ash. One smile at him, and you have a palace. That is not what that I am talking about. Therefore, I say, God for the functioning, whatever happens, happens according to the will of God, or I personally put according to a cosmic law. A cosmic law which concerns the entire universe for all time, totally impersonal. Therefore, what is God for me? The source, the self, primal energy, impersonal consciousness, whatever you call it. But I prefer the word energy.
Yes. Now here you said primal energy.
Yes.
According to thermodynamics, we know that energy cannot be destroyed, cannot be created.
Yes.
It can only be transformed.
And that is why I said primal energy.
But then, how does primal, you mean to say nothing else can be transformed into primal energy?
Yeah.
Because one of the things, Aparesh, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the way he said, I'm just quoting him, he said in a talk that was titled, How to Relate with God, he said, the only way to know God is to become God. The only way to know God is to become God.
Can anyone become God and continue to live his life? Tell me, Ashok, is it ever possible for anyone to become God and still live the rest of his life in this world?
I know of only those mythological characters, but in historical way, I have heard only of Jesus who said...
Even mythologically, Rama, Krishna. But once they were living their life in the world, they were living their life as a human being. Living in this world means living like a human being.
You talked about Ramakrishna Paramahansa?
No, no.
Ramakrishna.
Rama, Krishna,
Yes.
Shiva.
Yeah.
My point is, even if God takes human form
Yes.
to live in this world, then that human form has to obey the rules of the game.
Very true.
And the basis of the game, sometimes pleasure, sometimes pain. Therefore, Rama, Krishna, all the gods suffered enough pain.
Yes.
Enough pain. Therefore, I'm concerned with, first of all, I'm concerned with who am I? So I said, during the many gurus and books I've read, my trouble was there were too many concepts. Too many concepts. Conflicting concepts.
Very true.
So I said, when I pursue happiness, I shall deal with the minimum items. And the minimum item, the one singular person, one singular source, which has become the manifestation, the basis of which is duality and multiplicity. That is clear. Therefore, this body-mind organism, this object, is part of the manifestation. That is clear. So this body-mind organism is part of the manifestation, basis of which is duality. Then who is Ramesh? Ramesh is not an object. Therefore I decided. Therefore I decided. Ramesh may be anything, but not part of the society, not part of the manifestation. So the object is the manifestation, and Ramesh is concerned with this object. Ramesh thinks this is me.
No, I'm not clear.
Ramesh,
Yeah.
who considers this object as Ramesh? I do. Therefore, Ramesh.
This object means you are talking about the body
Body-mind
organism.
Yes. But the body-mind organism is an object. An object cannot speak or listen or do anything. And yet this body-mind organism does many things for which he himself holds him and the society holds him responsible. And the society holds him responsible for actions happening through this body-mind organism, rewards him or punishes him. Reward from the society means pleasure for me, punishment means pain for me, and that is my life. I live my life. What is daily living? Daily living means in any situation I am free to do whatever I want.
Free to?
Do whatever I want.
Yeah.
Legal, illegal, moral, immoral, whatever I want to do. But the result of and the consequence of the result has never been anyone's control. And that is the core of the Bhagavad Gita. You have the right of action, but Lord Krishna tells us, but you have no right over the fruits of your action. What is the fruits of your action? The result of your action. And the consequence of that result has never been in your control. And yet, you have to live your life.
But if the action is right, don't you think the result will be as per the expectation?
No,
No? Not always.
not always.
Most of the time?
That's no good. I'm concerned with something which happens not most of the time, all the time.
But there is something known as law of
Probability.
probability.
Yes, but that probability you are concerned by living your life.
Yeah.
Therefore, when making a decision in a given situation, what do? You take any law that you want in mind before coming to a decision. So, in a given situation, what is daily living? In a given situation, Ashok has to decide, in that situation, what do I want? And you have two or three alternatives. You have the choice to select the alternative and thereafter do something. But having done it, that's all you can do. What happens after that has never been in your control. Therefore, I came to the conclusion, and the basic conclusion, that every human being, in two perspectives, every human being, one perspective is, he is basically an object, a three-dimensional object, through which the source functions.
Through which?
The source or
functions.
energy functions and brings about whatever is supposed to happen according to God's will, or I said according to the cosmic law.
I heard you yesterday's talk also and today also. You say three-dimensional.
Three-dimensional object.
Yeah, but then.
An object is
Yeah, but then what about the fourth dimension?
and fourth dimension is what the philosopher tells you about the fourth dimension.
No, there is, in fact, quantum physicists talk about 11
I know
dimensions. 11 dimensions.
How many people know about quantum physics and 11 dimensions and 50?
I don't know.
Therefore, as an average person, wanting to know who I am only concerned with this body and Ramesh. This body is part of the totality of manifestation. So, and this body is what is supposed to be functioning. But a body cannot function. Therefore, I said, what clearly happens is, the source or energy functions through every three-dimensional human object and brings about whatever is supposed to happen according to a cosmic law. That is my basis. And for something to happen, it needs an instrument. This is an instrument. Therefore, Ramesh and every person is an ego which is created by divine hypnosis as an apparent doer of things. So, in life, who does anything? The ego. And what is the ego? The ego is the source identified with a particular object as a separate entity with a sense of personal doership. Therefore, everybody has an ego. Every human body has an ego.
Including Ramesh.
Oh yes. And that ego is a connection with the source to bring about whatever is supposed to be brought about at that moment, at that time, at that place, through a particular human object. I said, that is life.
But then, what is a good ego and a bad ego? And then Ramakrishna Paramahansa used to talk about the ego of a teacher, ego of...
So therefore I came to say, they decide, no ego does anything. Ego is only a creation, God's hypnosis, in order to bring out whatever is supposed to happen at that time, at that place, precisely the way it's supposed to happen, according to the cosmic law. And there has to be someone who is supposed to be guilty of it, or proud of it. So the ego is the one which the source has created. Ego is what the source has connected itself with and created a separate entity with a sense of personal doership. It doesn't exist as an object. This is the object. The source functions through this object and needs someone to accuse of doing this. And that is, the one who accused is the ego. Therefore, on the one perspective, I am a three-dimensional object. The other perspective is, I am the source.
When you are enlightened, what happens to your ego? Is it the same?
Absolutely. Look, Ramana Maharshi lived for 50 years in the ashram as the same separate entity, therefore the same ego. And that is where enormous amount of confusion has been created. That is what I found when I started on my personal journey into happiness. What almost every master had told me. What is enlightenment? Enlightenment is, suppose when enlightenment happens, the separation disappears. No more separation. No more ego. Isn't that what you have been told?
Yes.
What is enlightenment? No more ego, no more separation. And yet, I said to myself, Ramana Maharshi lived for 50 years and obviously responded to his name being called. If Ramana Maharshi responded to his name being called, yes, what can I do for you? It is the ego who responded. Therefore, the ego, even the sage after the total enlightenment, had to have an ego. And Ramana Maharshi confirmed it. He said, the ego of the sage is like the remnants of a burnt rope.
Remnant of the?
Of a burnt rope.
I didn't get you.
The ego is like the remnants of a burnt rope.
Okay.
The rope, the design is there of a rope, but you can't tie him up. You can't tie up anybody with that rope.
Yeah.
That means it's worthless, useless. As an object, it is useless to do anything. But therefore, almost everybody knows that. Ramana Maharshi said, the ego of the sage is like the remnants of a burnt rope. If you came to know of it, what are the words you will be impressed by? The remnants of a burnt rope.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
What I was impressed by was the word, the ego of the sage. Whatever it may be like, the description may change, but the ego sage does have an ego.
Sage still has ego.
Therefore, whatever other masters have said, I was very happy. Ramana Maharshi agreed with me that the sage cannot live the rest of his life except as the same ego who was at one time not enlightened and is now enlightened. You see?
But then that ego, when he was not enlightened, and this ego, when he is enlightened, in what way the two different?
That is the core of the question. Originally, they got out of it very quickly by saying enlightenment means the end of the ego, end of separation. He lives his life as if he is not a separate entity. Does the sage live his life like a bloody idiot? Anybody can go and slap him? Anybody can put some shit in his mouth?
I love you.
My job is not to leave any loose ends and cover every question. So I said, Ramana Maharshi lived for 50 years as a separate entity in that ashram. Someone went to see Ramana Maharshi to talk to him. Ramana Maharshi lived there as a separate entity, in which entity there was total understanding, which they would like to share. That is why people went to him. So I was happy. I don't care what the other said. I said, I am happy that at least Ramana Maharshi agreed that even after total enlightenment, I shall continue to be the same Ramesh before the enlightenment happened to me.
No, but that still brings me to the same question.
And that is the core question. That is the core question. Previously it was simple, no more ego. But now, if I say, the ego of the sage continues to be the same ego in exactly the same way, in exactly the same circumstances, but with the total understanding that you call enlightenment.
That is?
That you call enlightenment.
Okay.
Where is the difference? The core question is, where is the difference between the ego of the sage and the ego of the ordinary person?
Can I just say a small little story to see if my concept is right? There is this king who has one son, the prince, and the kingdom is attacked and the king is killed. Only the Dai saves the prince and goes to a neighboring kingdom. There, when the prince is just about 4 years of age, the Dai dies. And the prince is just brought up on the road, he is a beggar. And some places he gets alms, some places people drive him away, some places they give him bad words. And then he has a birthmark. And one day the kings, the old kings, Diwan, he has come to this kingdom and he sees the child with the birthmark and he identifies this is the prince. He takes him back and makes him the king. But then this fellow is miserable, so he runs away. But each time he runs away, he is brought back, and then finally he stays in the kingdom. And one day he tells the Diwan, he says, you know my problem, I would like to go and spend 3 days in my old place and beg for alms. Please don't send anyone behind me. So he said, okay. 3 days he goes and begs for alms. Now again, people who have seen him after a long time, some people gave him, they say, hey, where were you? Yeah, come. No. People don't know that he is the king. People do not know that he is the king. But he knows that he is the king.
Yeah.
Now some places, they gave him alms like old days. Some people say, where were you? Some people, like the old people, in the old days, they take stones and throw it. Why have you come? It was good to not to see your face and all that. But the difference is the newly crowned king, he does not get affected. Earlier he used to feel bad when people used to give him bad words. He used to feel good when people were giving him alms. He used to feel nice when people were talking about him. But today, when people gave him alms, it made no difference. When they said bad words, it made no difference. When they threw stone, it made no difference because he knew that he was the king. Now, is
that story?
Yeah.
I would change, saying that when he became king, he took an army with him. You are the one who threw stones. You are the one who gave me. Here's your reward.
But then it won't be the enlightened. I am talking about the two different things, the ego of the enlightened versus ego of the non-enlightened.
No, you're only talking about the king.
King versus the beggar.
Enlightened is what I'm going to tell you now.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. I asked you, at the beginning I said, correct me if I'm wrong, because this was my concept. Yeah.
Concept of enlightenment, no, that is not.
Yeah.
Therefore, again, the core of the question, the core question of devotee, if the sage continues to be the same ego, same name, same place, same he works the same way, he works in the same place, he continues to be in the same society, and another one who does the same thing but is not considered enlightened. What is the difference? Which is the core question? And the answer is extraordinarily simple. Enlightenment means the total acceptance that everything in the world that is a happening according to God's will or cosmic law. How each happening affects whom, for better or worse. A happening happens, it helps me, hurts you, or helps you or hurts me. Is also according to God's will, cosmic law, through which human object, through which person the happening happens, which the society calls my action, your action, his action, is also according to God's will, cosmic law. The human being is incapable of doing any deed.
Anything.
Any deed.
Any deed.
The human being is incapable of doing any deed. Total acceptance of this is enlightenment. And therefore I knew, at that point, when I knew that this is my concept of enlightenment, according to which I am enlightened, therefore I knew why nobody could give me an answer to what is enlightenment. At that moment I knew why nobody could give me an answer to what is enlightenment. Because enlightenment has never ever been a certified event. You are a certified doctor, someone is a certified lawyer, someone is a certified chartered accountant. But who is a certified enlightened person? Therefore, enlightenment has never ever been a certified event. Therefore, it can only be a concept. Maybe Buddha's concept or my concept. But it is a concept. And according to that concept, I decide whether I'm entitled to consider myself entitled or not. So, if you ask me, do you think you are entitled? I'll say, according to my concept, which I've told you, everything that happens is happening according to God's will. Whom it helps and whom it hurts, God's will, cosmic law. To whom it happens, which the society considers his action, again according to the cosmic law. According to that concept, I consider myself an enlightened person.
But Ramesh, here, if you think everything is a happening,
Yeah.
and if the society accepts that as universal,
No, society doesn't.
because my good friend who
Therefore, what the Lord Krishna tells you, action is your privilege. But the fruits of your action not in your control. Fruits of your action are in the control of the society. And the society decides what has happened as a good thing or a bad thing. Rewards you or punishes you. Reward means pleasure in the moment, punishment means pain in the moment. And that is daily living. See what I mean? In other words, what I'm saying is, in any given situation, I'm free to do whatever I like.
yes,
The psychopath and the criminal and the madman are also entitled to do precisely what they feel like doing. And the society is supposed to judge my action and reward me or punish me. Isn't that right?
yeah,
But what does the society judge?
What?
What can the society judge? Society cannot know what I have done or you have done or the psychopath has done.
Yes.
Society can only judge what has happened, the result and the consequence of that, over which I have no control, as my action. Judge it as good or bad, reward me or punish me, pleasure or pain. See what I mean? Therefore, daily living is a horrible mystery.
No, but then how can we justify anything if God
Rule of law, the rule of the game of life. Rule of the game of life is I am free to do whatever I want.
yeah.
Thereafter, what happens? The result of my action.
Hmm.
What has been everybody's actual experience. Sometimes I've got what I wanted. Sometimes I've not got what I wanted. And sometimes what I got was beyond expectation. Many times for the worse, sometimes for the better. Which of the three things happen? I have no control. One of the three things happens over which I have no control, and that which happens over which I have no control is what the society considers my action. Judges it as good or bad, rewards me or punishes me. Reward means pleasure in the moment, punishment means pain in the moment. And that is life. I am free to do whatever I like. But whatever I have done, whether it brings me pleasure or pain, nobody has known. Nobody in life, millions of years, nobody has known whether what he has done brings him pleasure or pain. But we have to, the rule of the game of life is we have to accept it, because we have to continue to live in that society.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the big deal? What is the big deal about accepting that I am not the doer? If I am still subject to the society's valid question, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What is the big deal? What is the big advantage of being enlightened?
Mm-hmm.
If I still have to accept the society's verdict, what is the advantage of being enlightened? The advantage of being enlightened is knowing that I am not the doer. Whatever I do and whatever happens, whether that results in pleasure or pain, I am not the doer. Therefore, I don't have to hate myself. I know the other is not the doer.
I heard a good friend say this after he had, the good pleasure of coming over here. A friend who had 2 sons and a daughter, married for more than 28, 29 years. And he was trying to explain me the same thing, that I am not the doer. Whatever is happening. The next thing I knew that he married a lady with 2 sons. She was already separated from her previous husband, and he had he divorced his wife, separated from his sons and the family, and he still says that I'm not the doer. This is all happening.
Yes, but it is he who has to accept the results
Yeah.
and the effects of those results as part of the game of life.
Yeah.
Therefore now that is accepted. Pleasure or pain I cannot know.
He was doing such wonderful work for a home that we run for destitute children in Mira Road, and now he is out of the whole thing because that lady happened to be the house mother for those children.
Therefore, whatever happened was not his doing.
But isn't it escapism?
Whatever happened was supposed to happen, but the society will treat it as his doing.
No, but Ramesh, tell me, isn't it escapism saying that,
Although you can't escape the society's verdict, then how can it be escapism?
escape from your own conscience, I'm talking about.
That is the point. Therefore, while you accept the society's verdict and suffer the pain. You don't have to suffer the pain of hating yourself. That is the advantage of enlightenment.
Okay.
You
So you are pleased.
You are forced to accept the society's verdict, which may be pleasure or pain in the moment. But I'm totally free to reject the hatred I would feel for myself if I felt that I had done some wrong to someone. And I don't have to bear the burden of hatred for others for their actions. The net result is enlightenment, means I don't have to carry the burden of guilt and shame for my actions, and I don't have to carry the burden of hatred for others for their actions.
And here at this juncture, because we already talked about Rama and Krishna, and you said it's fine to talk about mythology also. So here
they also suffer.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, because when it comes to the conscience, being at peace with your conscience, Rama sent Sita to the jungle
because that is what he thought he should do. In a given situation,
he thought
in any given situation, everyone is free to do whatever he likes, depending on his genes and conditioning.
But if he liked that, he would have done it in the right first place. But he went by what the washerman said to his wife.
Then that was what he did. It is his choice to accept the washerman's. Nobody forced him to. It was his choice. And that was one of the factors on which he made his choice. But he made the choice. He made the choice. And because of that choice, he suffered. Because of that choice, he suffered.
We are the result
so
of
there is
choices.
no question of escapism.
But the enlightened person will be at peace even when he takes a choice which is condemned by the society.
That is
he
correct.
is not condemned by himself.
That is correct. Therefore, enlightenment means happiness through peace of mind. Therefore, I came to know what is enlightenment. I said enlightenment is happiness through peace of mind. So I pursued happiness. I got happiness. Then I realized that I'm enlightened.
So would you say that happiness, peace of mind, enlightenment are all one?
Yeah. That is our nature.
Ashantasya kutha sukham.
Sukha Shanti.
Yeah.
Therefore, what is our nature? Sukha Shanti.
Yeah.
And I can't have Sukha Shanti if every moment I blame myself for something and carry a load of guilt and shame. Every moment I blame someone else and carry a load of hatred for the others. Therefore, the basis of Sukha Shanti, the basis of my peace of mind, is the total acceptance the human being is incapable of doing anything. Everything that happens according to a cosmic law.
But then taking the responsibility for one's action at the same time?
Society forces you to. And that is daily living. Therefore, the enlightened person enjoys the same pleasures and suffers the same pain like anybody else. But he doesn't carry the load of hatred for the other and guilt and shame for him. It is that which keeps him from sleeping at night. That is what robs him of his sleep. Therefore, he has peace of mind. And then, much later, I came to know that if the Buddha had already given the answers to the two questions, but most people were not interested. I was. He said, I told you my concept of enlightenment. I repeat, everything in the world that is happening according to cosmic law. How each happening affects whom, pleasure for some or pain for some, is again according to the cosmic law and our respective destiny. through which body-mind organism an action happens, which the society considers your action, is also according to the cosmic law.
And what do you mean by cosmic law?
Cosmic law is a law, natural law of nature,
Is it?
which concerns the entire universe for all time. Something like that the human brain simply cannot understand.
It's not the law of causation, cause and effect.
Yes, cause and effect, yes. But cause and effect you are interpreting as your deed and the effect.
As?
Your deed and the effect of your deed.
Yeah.
But cause is karma.
Yeah.
And karma doesn't mean your karma or my karma.
Right?
Karma means a happening.
Right?
Karma means a happening.
Yeah.
And every happening will have its effect. The effect becomes another happening, and that has its own effect. So karma goes on and on. How are we concerned? Not
But
our
then-
karma. That is where they go wrong. That is where the confusion arises. Karma theory is 100% right. Cause and effect. But your karma and my karma, no. Karma, yes.
You mean causeless cause?
Karma means a happening.
No, I'm saying causeless cause.
Those are two beautiful words which nobody understands.
Then God?
Causeless cause. Nobody understands that. But the one who uses it is proud of using those words, which the others don't understand.
What I meant was God. Because if God is never created, is never going to end, doesn't he become a causeless cause, something that never had any cause to start with?
I would have plenty of other problems in order to add this one to that. Why should I add this problem? What is causeless cause? Who cares? What is causeless cause? Who cares? I don't care a damn. But one who likes those words and likes to use those words and is proud to use those words is
One who would like to know, why don't you identify with one who likes to know the meaning of those words? Because one has heard that word so many
It is
times.
wanting, that is the point. What I am saying is, if I accept everything happens according to the cosmic law, the basis of which no one can understand, then I accept whatever is at any moment, precisely the way it is, without bothering to say that is right or wrong. Otherwise what happens is, I become unnecessarily unhappy. Why did God create Adolf Hitler? Why does God create handicapped children? Why does God create a situation in which an innocent man is executed for a murder he did not commit? Only 3,000 examples to make you unhappy. But if I accept whatever is at the present moment is precisely the way it is supposed to be, according to the cosmic law, the basis of which is impossible for me to understand, most of my unhappiness is not there. I have to accept it. Then I said, but it's not fair. I should know something about the cosmic law. Then I asked myself, how much do I know about the theory of relativity? So if I know zero about the theory of relativity, how can I understand anything about the cosmic law, which is about 1,000,000 times more complicated than theory of relativity? So I said, I have to accept whatever happens at any moment as precisely the way it was supposed to happen, and accept it.
But then, you say whatever happens for the sake, it's just a happening.
It is a happen.
It's a happening. But there is a choice within the person who is experiencing that happening also, isn't it?
Therefore, the first basic rule of life, in any given situation, Ashok is free to do whatever he wants, legal or illegal, moral or immoral. But the result of it, one of three things over which they have no control. So what the first base, you are free to do what you like. Second one, you have no control over the result. You have first total free will. For total free will to do what you want. Second basic principle, you have no control over the. So when you combine the two, what does it mean?
Whatever has to happen will happen.
What it means is, Ashok does have free will, but it is worthless in practice.
Say it again, please.
Ashok does have free will, because without that free will, life can't happen.
Correct.
But that free will is worthless in practice. And that is the basic rule of life.
But then
In other
see,
words, the basic rule of life is, I'm free to do whatever I want. But whether it will bring me pleasure or pain does not depend on my intention.
are you saying something that is in tune with quantum physics?
Yeah.
Where something is going to be a wave,
Yeah.
a particle or a wave.
Yes. Yes.
But then,
What religion has done is to separate science and Vedanta.
science,
And Vedanta, Advaita.
yeah.
What Advaita has done is to bring science and religion together. Yes.
It was Einstein who said, if I recollect right, that
Yeah.
science without religion is lame and religion without science is blind.
Absolutely. The genius is absolutely right.
I was about to say something about this. Walia Ratnakar had lived a life, he was a robber, highway robber, and the only thing he used to say was Mara, Mara, Mara.
Valmiki.
When he became Valmiki,
No. You got it slightly wrong.
correct me?
What happened was, Narada came his way once, and one meeting with Narada transformed him into an enlightened being. One enlightened. So he said, now with all that accumulated, what do I do? So he said, all right, I'll give you a very simple thing. Repeat Rama, 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 Rama. He couldn't do it. So he said, Mara, 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 Mara. Which became Rama, 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 Rama.
That's like Ramakrishna Paramahansa telling someone, he was asked, what is the message of Gita? He said, message of Gita is Gita, Gita, Gita. He said, what do you mean? Yeah, Gita, Gita, ta, Gita, 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 Tyagi. Renunciation. Renunciation. Yeah.
So that is the whole point. And I think it took me just about an hour and 5 minutes. What I am saying is it's so simple. But the human brain is not able to accept that he is not the doer. He is not able to accept that he is not the doer. It's extraordinarily logical. I am free to do what I like, but I have no control over what happens. Therefore, strictly, you are not the doer. But accurately put, you are the doer, but your doership is worthless in practice.
Because I have no control over what happens.
And therefore, and also day after day, what is daily living? So, what is daily living? Daily living means in a given situation, doing what you have to do. And I knew it was deeply rooted, but I didn't know how deeply rooted until once my brother's next door, my brother's granddaughter, she is now about 8 or 9. When she was 3.5 years old, Very, very creative child. She still is. She's a very creative child. So she used to, what she would do is, during the day, she would draw something or cut something into something, do some creative work. Next morning she would come, show it to me and my wife. We would both admire it and she would be happy. One morning she came and showed me what she had done. I admired it and she was happy. But my wife was in the bathroom. So she said, "Where is grandmother?" And my exact words were, "She has been in the bathroom for quite some time and she should be out any moment." But you know what this child says? "Until then, what shall I do?" 3.5-year-old. See how deeply in this feeling of doership is. Until then, what shall I do? Then it struck me how terribly deep the sense of doership is ingrained by the soul.
Tell me, what is intuition? Because just now when you were describing, sometimes I get a tremendous inner voice. So many times it is right, many times it is wrong. Usually it's regarding the names, like when you're talking about your granddaughter, about this child, and the thought that came was Rashmi. I don't know why it came, but, and then I could not control myself. I felt like writing down. What is the child's name?
Aishwarya.
Aishwarya. Okay, but so many times it comes right also.
Yes.
Yeah.
The important
What is intuition?
Important thing is so many times it goes the wrong way.
Yeah, yeah.
Therefore it has no value.
Okay.
Ramesh, you could share with him that lovely joke that you talk about the lady who's crossing the road. She gets an intuition, and then it's a really nice.
I was thinking of it.
Huh?
She's talking of a joke
It's a really
I said.
nice.
You
thing
know,
about
she
intuition.
said, a young lady was walking along a pavement and she suddenly had the strong stop. So she stopped. And that moment a huge boulder fell in front. If she had walked, she would have been dead. So she was impressed. She was impressed. Then she went a little further and she had to cross the road and the sign said, "Walk." She was about to step, they said, "Stop." She stopped. And the drunken motor driver, and if he had said, she would have been dead. Now she was really impressed. You see? So he said, "Who are you?" And he said, "I'm your guardian angel." So then she said, "Oh, you're my guardian angel, are you? Then what the hell were you doing when I got married?"
Okay. Can I share one more?
Answer is guardian angel was sleeping.
Can I share one with you?
Please.
This is about the priest and a junkie sort of person who was very attuned to saying bad words, and the priest badly wanted to correct his ways. So he says, "Johnny, we are going for a game of golf." And both of them go for a golf game, and each time Johnny missed his shot, he used to say, I beg your pardon, he used to say, "Shit." And the priest used to say, "Johnny, mind your language. God doesn't like such words." But this fellow doesn't stop. 18 hole game they are playing, and around 15th hole, finally the priest says, "Johnny, if you don't mend your ways, God is going to punish you at the next hole." The next hole Johnny misses, and he says, "Shit," and lightning strikes, and the priest vanishes. And there is Akashvani that says, "Oh shit, missed."
Yeah. So, what I've told you is true today. Now, you may ask me any question, personal or impersonal, and I almost dare you to I give you the answer. Why? Because in my journey, which took much more longer than it took a whole year instead of 1.5 hours. Any question that you are likely to ask me, I asked them myself and did not proceed until I had the answer to my question.
Now, just the other day I came across, I had heard about Pasayadan of Jnandev, and I today have known just the 3 lines from his 3rd sutra, which says, Duritan se timir jao, Vishwasva dharma surye paho, Dode vansil tote laho, prani jata. Can you enlighten me on this? Because the meaning that I got was, let the darkness go away from the ignorant people's mind. Let them know that the real Surya, the real sunshine is within your subconscious, which enlightens each and every cell of the human body. And once you understand that this is the real you, this is the real God within you, then whatever you say, you ask and it shall be given to you. Seek and you shall find it. Knock and it shall be opened for you.
Yes. What it means is, Namdev was so obligated to God for showing him his nature, which is happiness. He would like everybody to have it. So it is a prayer to God. Let everybody have the happiness which you have given me. A prayer to God. Give everybody the happiness of my own nature that you have given me. Let everybody have it. Let everybody be happy. That is a prayer of thanksgiving.
Now, we talk of subconscious, and in spite of being a doctor, I thought that subconscious was there only in the brain. But today, from the readings that I have done, subconscious is supposed to be there in each and every of those 100 trillion cells below the level of the cell membrane. And in sports, because it's easier, human life is easily understood if we understand sports, because all the things that we experience in sports, we experience in life itself. So I sometimes say that life is a microcosm of sports is a microcosm of life itself. Now, recently, the Beijing Olympics that concluded, there was this sportsman from US whose name is Michael Phelps, who won 8 gold medals. As when you are talking about India, with 1 billion plus population, we get 1 gold medal. Here is one person who wins 8 gold medals. And he says that that is the command that I had given to my subconscious, and I knew that I had to win it. So, if it is so easy, why cannot everyone?
That's what you should ask this Phelps bugger. That's what you should ask this Phelps bugger. You can't, Ramesh. That is the whole trouble. I have done it. I have done it. So difficult to believe that you are not the doer. So deeply ingrained is this. Now, what I am saying is, I ask someone, look, I am not as successful as you are. What is the reason of your success? He would tell me, see Ramesh, I am intelligent. I have determination. I work hard. And I am a workaholic. So I tell him, that's wonderful. I would also like to be that. Where did you buy all these qualities? I have money. I would like to buy them. Where did you buy them? They happen to be there in that body-mind organism, according to the will of God, cosmic law.
But what determines that?
Oh,
Why?
That is the basis
Of karma?
No, that is the basis of the manifestation, and the functioning of manifestation, that is life, duality. duality, beginning with male and female, a genius and an idiot, a wise man and a dull man,
Child prodigies?
wealth and poverty, health and disease. Everything has its interconnected opposites.
Why do you get child prodigies?
Because there are child idiots. For one thing, there have to be both. Therefore, for both happenings to happen, God had to create appropriate body, mind, organism with such genes and conditions that one will be an idiot, the other will be a genius. A character like Adolf Hitler had to happen because according to the cosmic law, 8 million Jewish people had to lose their lives because of what happened. So God was forced to create a body, mind, organism, which was named Adolf Hitler.
And then how could Nostradamus predict that an adult Hitler?
Because everything is predetermined. Everything is predetermined. The movie of life has been directed, produced, and totally and is in the can. The movie of life, millions of years, is already in the can. What we witness is frame by frame by frame. But what is has already, and that is what Lord Krishna told Arjuna. When Arjuna said, I am prepared to kill my friends and cousins, but I am not prepared to kill my gurus. Then Lord Krishna told him, as time, I have already killed them. In this movie of life, you are merely an instrument through which that happening has to happen. You are not going to kill them, they have already been killed.
That reminds me
Everything
of
is predetermined.
That reminds me of the movie in which I had seen Hiranyakashipu, father of Prahlad. An astrologer comes, and that's what is going to be my next question. An astrologer comes and tells him that your son is going to be the cause for your death.
Yeah.
And he says, okay, tell me, how long are you going to live? And he said, I have at least another 15 years to live. And Hiranyakashipu takes his sword and beheads him right there and then. And he says, what is this? So if everything is predetermined, and astrologers say one prediction was right, but the second prediction was wrong.
Yeah.
So is
Where is the
astrology
problem?
all bunkum?
No, astrology is God's gift to certain persons.
Certain persons.
Certain persons, God's gift. And God's gift, how much of a gift? Nobody knows. God's gift, nobody knows. Have you heard of Nadi Bhavishya?
Nadi Bhavishya? No.
Mainly in the south, some on a papyrus leaf,
Oh, I heard that.
about 12 inches. It has been carved in tiny letters, the whole of your life. I went to one, and in the one that he produced, the beginning was, this subject's name was originally Ganesh. His mother changed it to Ramesh. How many people would have known that? And this was 3,000, 4,000, God knows how long ago. And there were names of my parents, my wife, my children, my brothers and their wives. At least 10 or 12 names. So that told me that Nadi was certainly mine. How much of it is right, how much of it is not right, depends on what gift God gave him, whoever it was. So in that, what happened was, he said, the only one I wanted was my spiritual house. There were 12 houses. So he said, this subject has been interested in spiritual work ever since he can. He will have a first guru after, I think it's in 10 years or something like that. But it will not last, it will last for about 20 years, but nothing will come of it. He will meet his real guru 1 year after his retirement. And then the result will be quick. True, I retired in 60. For 1 year I worked with myself, got what I wanted, and then I went to Nisargadatta. And then the result was quick. And there it ended. For 30 years after that, the number of talks that have been given, the number of books, more than 30 books that have come out, not a word. Therefore,
Not a word?
not a word about it.
In that.
In the Nadi, that means God said, this is your gift, but only so far, no further. Therefore, astrology is God's gift. One astrologer I knew, many years ago, 40 years ago. I was trying to remember his name, my brother, I couldn't. I asked him, this was fully 50 years ago. I asked him, how many of your predictions are right? And he said, 50%. Is it all? So I said, this was 50 years ago. He said, you ask an honest doctor, how many of his diagnoses are correct?
Less.
Now, now it's different. Now it will be 90% with all those machines. But he, therefore, now, someone comes here, he's an astrologer. I'm not a professional astrologer. I asked him the same thing. And he said, in his case, 80%. God's gift.
Some people play with words also, like one astrologer, he was
yeah.
asked by a king whether his wife is going to deliver a boy or a girl. He said, I'll write it down and we'll put it in a locked case and you open it only after the delivery. So king said, fair enough. And the queen delivered and he had a son. So in front of all the courtiers, they open the box and the chit comes out and the king reads. It reads, Putra, na Putri. If it was Putri, it would have been read as Putra na Putri. So,
I'll tell you another joke about this. The king had a dream. He had a dream. All his teeth had fallen off. So he sent for the court astrologer. And he said, what does that mean? And he said, I'm sorry, Your Majesty, but it's a very bad indication. It means all your relatives will die. Will die before you. So he put him in prison, sent for another one. The other one who knew what had happened. This is a wonderful woman. You will outlive all your relatives. Perspective.
yeah.
Okay. Anything else? If you have any questions during that arrive, you are welcome to come anytime.
Yes.
And we'll deal with those.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Any question? Yeah.
Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। नमो आदिरूपा ओंकार स्वरूपा विश्वाची आरूपा माय बापा। तुझी आसक्तीने तुझे गुण गाऊ तेने सुखी राहू सर्व काळा। तूची श्रोता तूची वक्ता ज्ञानासी अंजना सर्व होणे जाणे तुझ्या हाती। तुका म्हणे येथे नाही मी तूपणा स्तवावे ते कवणा कवणा लागी। नमो आदिरूपा ओंकार स्वरूपा विश्वाची आरूपा माय बापा। ओंकार स्वरूपा सद्गुरु समर्था ओंकार स्वरूपा सद्गुरु समर्था। अनाथांच्या नाथा तुझ नमो तुझ नमो तुझ नमो तुझ नमो तुझ नमो। ओंकार स्वरूपा सद्गुरु समर्था अनाथांच्या नाथा तुझ नमो तुझ नमो तुझ नमो तुझ नमो तुझ नमो। नमो माय बापा गुरु कृपा घना तोडिया बंधना माया मोहा। नमो माय बापा गुरु कृपा घना तोडिया बंधना माया मोहा। मोह जाय माझे कोण निरशील तुझ वीण दयाळा सद्गुरु राया। तुझ वीण दयाळा सद्गुरु राया। तुझ नमो तुझ नमो तुझ नमो। ओंकार स्वरूपा सद्गुरु समर्था अनाथांच्या नाथा तुझ नमो तुझ नमो तुझ नमो तुझ नमो तुझ नमो। सद्गुरु राया माझा आनंद सागर त्रैलोक्य आधार गुरुराव। त्रैलोक्य आधार गुरुराव त्रैलोक्य आधार गुरुराव। गुरुराज स्वामी असे स्वयं प्रकाश ज्या पुढे उदास चंद्र रवी। त्या पुढे उदास चंद्र रवी। ज्या पुढे उदास चंद्र रवी। रवी शशी अग्नी नेणतीचा रूपा स्वप्रकाश रूपा। नेणे वेद स्वप्रकाश रूपा नेणे वेद स्वप्रकाश रूपा। तुझ नमो तुझ नमो। ओंकार स्वरूपा सद्गुरु समर्था अनाथांच्या नाथा तुझ नमो तुझ नमो तुझ नमो तुझा नमो तुझा नमो एका जनार्दनी गुरु परब्रह्मा एका जनार्दनी गुरु परब्रह्मा तयाचे परिणाम सदामुखी तयाचे परिणाम सदामुखी तयाचे परिणाम सदामुखी ओंकार स्वरूपा सद्गुरु समर्था अनाथांच्या नाथा तुझा नमो 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 तुझा सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझा सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे सगुण निर्गुण एकु गोविंदु रे एकु गोविंदु रे तुझा सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझा सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे अनुमानेना अनुमानेना श्रुतीने ती म्हणती गोविंदु रे श्रुतीने ती म्हणती गोविंदु रे तुझा सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझा सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझा दृश्य म्हणो की अदृश्य रे तुझा दृश्य म्हणो की अदृश्य रे दृश्य अदृश्य एकु गोविंदु रे दृश्य अदृश्य एकु गोविंदु रे तुझा सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझा सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझा आकारू म्हणो की निराकारू रे तुझा आकारू म्हणो की निराकारू रे आकारू निराकारू एकु गोविंदु रे आकारू निराकारू एकु गोविंदु रे तुझा सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझा सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझा स्थूल म्हणो की सूक्ष्म रे तुझा स्थूल म्हणो की सूक्ष्म रे स्थूल सूक्ष्म एकु गोविंदु रे स्थूल सूक्ष्म एकु गोविंदु रे तुझा सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझा सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे निवृत्ती प्रसादे ज्ञानदेव बोले बाप रखुमा देवी वरु विठ्ठलु रे निवृत्ती प्रसादे ज्ञानदेव बोले बाप रखुमा देवी वरु विठ्ठलु रे तुझा सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझा सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे सगुण निर्गुण एकु गोविंदु रे एकु गोविंदु रे तुझा सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझा सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे हेची दान दे ग देवा तुझा विसर न व्हावा विसरन भावा तुझा विसरन भावा. हेची दान दे ग देवा तुझा विसरन भावा. विसरन विसरन भावा. गुण गाईन आवडी हिची माझी सर्व जोडी. माझी सर्व जोडी हिची माझी सर्व जोडी. ना लागे मुक्ती धन संपदा. ना लागे मुक्ती धन संपदा. संत संग दे सदा. संत संग दे सदा. संत संग दे सदा. तुका म्हणे गर्भवासी सुखे घालावे आम्हासी. घालावे आम्हासी सुखे घालावे आम्हासी. गुण गाईन आवडी हिची माझी सर्व जोडी. माझी सर्व जोडी हिची माझी सर्व जोडी. हेची दान दे ग देवा तुझा विसरन भावा. विसरन भावा तुझा विसरन भावा. हेची दान दे ग देवा तुझा विसरन भावा. विसरन भावा तुझा विसरन भावा. तुझे रूप चित्ती राहो मुखी तुझे नाम. तुझे रूप चित्ती राहो मुखी तुझे नाम. देह प्रपंचाचा दास सुखे करो काम. सुखे करो काम. तुझे रूप चित्ती राहो मुखी तुझे नाम. देहधारी जो जो त्याचे विहित नित्य कर्म. सदाचार सन्मार्गाचा आगळा न धर्म. देहधारी जो जो त्याचे विहित नित्य कर्म. सदाचार सन्मार्गाचा आगळा न धर्म. तुला आवडे ते हाती घडे नित्य कर्म. तुला आवडे ते हाती घडे नित्य कर्म. देह प्रपंचाचा दास सुखे करो काम. सुखे करो काम. तुझे रूप चित्ती राहो मुखी तुझे नाम. तुझ्या पदी वाहिला मी देह भाव सारा. उडे अंतराळी आत्मा सोडूनी पसारा. तुझ्या पदी वाहिला मी देह भाव सारा. उडे अंतराळी आत्मा सोडूनी पसारा. नाम तुझे घेतो गोरा. नाम तुझे घेतो गोरा. होऊनी निष्काम. नाम तुझे घेतो गोरा. होऊनी निष्काम. देह प्रपंचाचा दास सुखे करो काम. सुखे करो काम. तुझे रूप चित्ती राहो मुखी तुझे नाम. तुझे रूप चित्ती राहो मुखी तुझे नाम. पांडुरंग 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 पांडुरंग. पांडुरंग पांडुरंग. Thank you.